Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Newshour, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next hour. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says New India neither fears nor bows down to terrorism. Asserts that the entire world witnessed it during Operation Sindoor. Takes part in the 350th Martyrdom Day of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. Prime Minister Modi hoists a sacred flag atop Sri Ram Temple in Ayodhya, says we must take pride in our heritage. Diplomatic efforts to end the Ukraine war intensify as US and Russian officials hold talks in Abu Dhabi. And in cricket, India 27 for 2 at stumps, chasing a mammoth 549 runs in the final test against South Africa at Guwahati. India's Ayodhya witnessed a moment that will be remembered for generations. Prime Minister Modi hoisted a saffron flag on the spire of the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple, marking the completion of the temple's construction and opening a new chapter in India's cultural and spiritual journey. DD India's Rahul Upadhyay reports.
ये धर्म ध्वजा केवल एक ध्वजा नहीं, ये भारतीय सभ्यता के पुनर्जागरण का ध्वज है.
Marking a historic moment in India's socio-cultural and spiritual journey, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday ceremonially hoisted a saffron flag on the spire of the sacred Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya, Uttar Pradesh. The Dhwajarohan Utsav symbolizes the completion of temple's construction, ushering in a new chapter of cultural celebration and national unity. Addressing the gathering, the Prime Minister said, Ayodhya today is witnessing yet another pinnacle of India's cultural consciousness.
इसका भगवा रंग, इस पर रचित सूर्य वंश की ख्याति, वर्णित ओम शब्द और अंकित कोविदार वृक्ष राम राज्य की कीर्ति को प्रतिरूपित करता है. ये ध्वज संकल्प है, ये ध्वज सफलता है, ये ध्वज संघर्ष से सृजन की गाथा है, ये ध्वज सदियों से चले आ रहे स्वप्नों का साकार स्वरूप है.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and RSS Chief Dr. Mohan Bhagwat were also present on the occasion. Earlier, Prime Minister Modi visited the Sapta Mandir or 7 temples within the expansive Ram Janmabhoomi complex. These shrines honor Maharshi Vashisht, Maharshi Vishwamitra, Maharshi Agastya, Maharshi Valmiki, Devi Ahilya, Nishadraj Ghu and Mata Shabri. The temples represent the revered gurus, devotees and companions who played pivotal roles in Lord Ram's life. PM Modi said the divine courtyard of Ram Mandir is emerging as a sacred symbol of India's collective strength, inspiring millions across generations.
ये राम मंदिर का दिव्य प्रांगण भारत के सामूहिक सामर्थ्य की भी चेतना स्थली बन रहा है. यहां 7 मंदिर बने हैं. यहां माता शबरी का मंदिर बना है, जो जनजातीय समाज के प्रेम भाव और आतिथ्य परंपरा की प्रतिमूर्ति है. यहां निषादराज का मंदिर बना है. ये उस मित्रता का साक्षी है जो साधन नहीं, साध्य को, उसकी भावना को पूजती है. ये मंदिर हमारी आस्था के साथ साथ मित्रता, कर्तव्य और सामाजिक सद्भाव के मूल्यों को भी शक्ति देते हैं.
The Prime Minister also offered prayers at the Sheshavatar Mandir dedicated to Lakshman, younger brother of Lord Ram. Situated along the banks of Saryu River, the shrine traces its origins back to the Treta Yuga, adding timeless depth to the temple's spiritual aura. On arrival and after leaving the Ram temple, PM Modi held a vibrant roadshow in Ayodhya. Thousands thronged the streets in a festive, devotional atmosphere filled with chants, bhajans and the resonant sounds of shanks. The program is taking place on the auspicious occasion of Vivaah Panchami, a day symbolizing divine union of Lord Ram and Goddess Sita. As the saffron flag flutters high above the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi Mandir, Ayodhya resonates with devotion and pride. The air is filled with chants, conch sounds and the collective heartbeat of millions. A moment etched in history, a symbol of unity, faith and cultural resurgence. And as the celebrations reach their crescendo, the voices of Ayodhya rise together in one eternal chant. Rahul Upadhyay's report for DD India.
As the sacred saffron flag was hoisted atop the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya, the entire complex was awash with the hues of saffron and gold marigolds and illumination after sundown. DD India's Gautam Roy spoke to the temple's main decorator Sanjay Dhavilkar about the concept, theme and other intricacies of the project.
We have Sanjay Dhavilkar with us, a person who was involved and who supervised all the decoration. Thank you for joining us. Could you tell us what sort of an effort went into this entire exercise and how was it conceived?
Last time also we had overseen the complete decoration. This time the challenge was the mandir is complete and we wanted to showcase, we want to highlight the entire carving, the completion of mandir and everything. So the challenge was how to highlight that, and accordingly the theme which we have taken, we will use less flowers, but there is a flower decoration you will see everywhere. However, the lights are used more and more. The pathway from where Pujaniya Sarasanga Jalak ji and Mananiya Pradhan Mantri ji who came to their greenhouse, that entire pathway was based on certain theme. We have developed some pictures and we have put on that path. The time when the mandir was in a small asthai type small mandir to today's temple. So this entire journey was shown in that.
And now that the flag hoisting is done, it's a memorable historical landmark event. How do you feel at its culmination?
So for last 500 years, it's a Hindu Asmita's fight, it's Hindu Swabhiman's fight, and today is the day when the Punar Sthapana of that Hindu Asmita, Hindu Punar Sthapana has happened. So everyone here is feeling just proud and we are just blessed.
One of the biggest takeaways of the successful culmination of the flag hoisting ceremony on top of the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi temple in Ayodhya is clearly that if a set of people, be it a civilization, struggle for centuries, they can still, if they choose the right path and if they really aspire for it and work hard for it, any goal can be achieved, and that's what is the essence of what Lord Ram did many years ago, ages ago, and this is what India and people of the faith in Lord Ram have achieved today. With Campus Sunil, Gautam Roy, Ayodhya, DD India.
In Nepal, the Vivaah Panchami festival was celebrated on Tuesday at Janakpur Dham with great enthusiasm, marking the divine marriage of Lord Ram and Goddess Sita. The week-long festivities included traditional rituals such as Nagar Darshan, Phulbari Leela, Dhanush Yagya, Tilakotsav and Matkor, culminating in the reenactment of the Ram-Sita Swayamvar. Saints and religious leaders from Ayodhya attended the event at the invitation of the Janaki temple and the city's mayor. Janakpur, regarded as Goddess Sita's childhood home and wedding site, witnessed vibrant celebrations throughout the week. The International Gita Mahotsav is in full swing in Kurukshetra, with people from all over the country and abroad actively participating in the event. Organized by the Government of Haryana in collaboration with the Kurukshetra Development Board, the main objective of the festival is to spread the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, enlighten people with its timeless and intangible heritage, and promote the message of peace, love and unity. The festival is getting bigger and better since its inception in 2016, with folk artists, the dhol and the nagaras adding more vibrancy to the celebrations. Stalls showcasing religious books, handicrafts and traditional Indian delicacies are drawing large crowds at Brahma Sarovar. The festival will conclude on the 5th of December. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Modi offered prayers at Brahma Sarovar, one of India's most sacred pilgrimage sites. The International Gita Mahotsav is gaining popularity on the world stage, highlighting the rich historical and cultural significance of Kurukshetra. And earlier, Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the newly constructed Panchajanya, a structure dedicated to the sacred conch associated with Lord Krishna. He inaugurated the newly constructed Panchajanya, constructed in honor of the sacred conch of Lord Krishna. Thereafter, he visited the Mahabharata Anubhav Kendra, an immersive experiential center where installations depict significant episodes from the Mahabharata, highlighting its enduring cultural and spiritual significance. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh delivered the keynote address at Samudra Utkarsh, a seminar organized by the Department of Defence Production in New Delhi, showcasing the capabilities of the Indian shipyards. He urged foreign partners to tap the potential of India's vibrant shipbuilding industry and co-develop next-generation maritime capabilities. He said India aims to become preferred ship repair hub for the Indo-Pacific region.
Ships from friendly foreign nations are increasingly coming to Indian shipyards for the complex refits. And this is a clear recognition of India's capability, reliability and the cost competitiveness. Our ambition is clear. We want to become the preferred sustainment and repair hub for the entire Indo-Pacific region. India's shipbuilding ecosystem today stands on the strength of the multiple world-class platforms that reflect our technological maturity and industrial depth. In the defense sector, our shipyards are delivering some of the most advanced vessels in the Indo-Pacific.
The Indian Navy Chief Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi inaugurated the 4th edition of the Indian Navy's Naval Innovation and Indigenization Organization seminar called Swavalamban 2025 at Manekshaw Center in New Delhi. The two-day event, which will conclude on Wednesday, will highlight the Indian Navy's innovation and indigenization efforts and the contributions of the Indian industry. It includes dedicated exhibit zones, highlighting products that have emerged as success stories, as well as those realized through the ideation to induction cycle. According to a report by the State Bank of India, the new labour codes could reduce unemployment by up to 1.3%, which would translate into additional employment generation of 7.7 million. It highlighted that the new labour codes will increase the share of formalization in the labour force by at least 15%, pushing total formal workers to 75.5% from the current estimated share of 60.4%. Social sector coverage could rise to 85%, strengthening the country's labour ecosystem. In Thimphu, a solemn concluding ceremony marked the return of Lord Buddha's holy relics to India after an extended and immensely successful exposition in Bhutan. The rituals were held at the main monastery where the sacred relics had been displayed since their arrival on the 8th of November. Minority Affairs and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju, who led the Indian delegation, joined the King of Bhutan and Bhutanese leaders for the ceremony. The Home Minister of Bhutan expressed heartfelt gratitude to Prime Minister Modi and the Government of India for bringing the sacred relics to Bhutan and for extending their exposition by an additional week, a gesture welcomed by thousands of devotees. Minister Rijiju said that he was deeply moved by the reverence shown by the people of Bhutan, noting that the cultural and spiritual bonds between India and Bhutan continue to be the foundation of their friendship. Still to come on DD India Newshour. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro says his country is invincible as the US steps up pressure. Sudan's Rapid Support Forces unilaterally announced a 3-month humanitarian ceasefire. And 2 airlines in India cancelled flights after Ethiopian volcano erupts. More on that after the break.
For the longest time, we treated the Earth's resources as endless. But now the real challenge is to rethink how we use what we already have. Because how we manage the environment's resources will dictate our chances of survival.
He applied finely crushed basalt rock on 2 of his 4 fields and says the difference is clear to see.
It's like a window of opportunity. For every hour we are working with this project.
The pumped groundwater is first filtered. Then it goes into a tank and is filtered again. After that, it is collected in this tank where people can access it.
We have been making handicrafts from banana plants for quite some time now. Currently, we produce around 30 products.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. The US and Russia are back at the negotiating table in Abu Dhabi even as the Ukraine conflict escalates on the ground and tensions spill across borders. With Washington DC pushing to revive a peace track and Moscow awaiting an updated US proposal, world leaders warn that the road ahead remains long and uncertain. As diplomacy unfolds, fresh drone incursions in Romania and overnight strikes on Kyiv underscore just how fragile the moment is. DD India's Nishchoy Roy has more.
The United States and Russia have inched back to the negotiating table, this time in Abu Dhabi. The discreet dialogue comes at a moment when the Ukraine conflict is intensifying on multiple fronts. Peace discussions were held in UAE capital led by US Army Secretary Dan Driscoll as Washington attempts to revive momentum towards ending the war in Ukraine. However, there are many others who believe that there's still a long and tough road ahead in Ukraine peace process.
That Ukraine's sovereignty must be maintained, that Ukraine should be able to defend herself in future, and that matters about Ukraine and its future must be determined by Ukraine. We are clear their voice must always be at the heart of the process, and elements relating to Europe and NATO will need the consent of Europe and NATO members.
On the other hand, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said that Russia had welcomed the first draft and is awaiting the updated version.
We have channels of communication with our US counterparts and we use them. We expect to receive the version they consider interim after the coordination phase with the Europeans and the Ukrainians ends. Then we will review it, because if the spirit and letter of anchorage, the key understandings we recorded are stripped out, it will be a fundamentally different situation. But for now, I repeat, we have not received anything officially.
As the talks continue to find a path for peace, Romanian and German NATO jets were scrambled after a drone incursions penetrated deeper into Romanian airspace than ever before.
We've already started the development of capability to do exactly what we know we need to do as an alliance, the U.S. being one of those 32 members, to make sure that these drones do not violate your airspace. We have tested it, and it is in the final stages of being employed. Romanian soldiers and other alliance soldiers have been trained on this capability, and I know you're going to see this capability in the Delta very soon.
While in Ukraine, Kyiv was struck overnight by a heavy barrage of missiles and drones, Russia claimed its forces intercepted hundreds of Ukrainian drones in overnight defense operation. Nishya Roy's report for DD India.
US President Donald Trump on Monday said that he has accepted an invitation from China's President Xi Jinping to visit Beijing in April. The announcement followed what President Trump called a very good phone conversation with President Xi. The US President has said that he invited the Chinese leader for a state visit to Washington, D.C. next year. The diplomatic exchange came nearly a month after they held in-person talks in South Korea. President Trump said that they reviewed a wide range of issues, including the war in Ukraine, fentanyl trafficking, and Chinese purchases of American soybean. Tensions are rising in East Asia as Taiwan firmly rejects Beijing's claims, declaring that returning to China is not an option for the island's 23 million people. The statement comes amid a heated China-Japan dispute over Taiwan. DD India's Rabindra Chauhan brings us more.
Tension between China and Japan over Taiwan continues to escalate. Taiwan's Premier Cho Zung-tai said on Tuesday that the island's 23 million people will never accept a return to China. Cho made the remark in response to Chinese President Xi Jinping, who told US President Donald Trump Taiwanese supposed post-World War II return to China is central to Beijing's worldview.
For the 23 million people of our nation, return is not an option. This is very clear. Taiwan belongs to the world. It plays a vital role in regional security as well as in global technological and economic development. Therefore, maintaining the status quo is a matter of common concern for the international community.
Taiwan has also rejected Chinese one country, one system model, which has no support among major Taiwanese political parties. China, however, maintained that its sovereignty claims remain unchanged. On the other hand, Japan warned any Chinese attack on Taiwan could trigger a Japanese military response.
Our stance remains unchanged to reduce issues and concerns while increasing mutual understanding and cooperation. We will continue to monitor the situation closely and take appropriate action. Japan remains open to various forms of dialogue with China.
Meanwhile, Taiwan also reported another Chinese balloon crossing the Taiwan Strait, calling it part of Chinese ongoing military harassment. Beijing insists the balloon are for meteorological purpose. Bureau Report, DD India.
Japan's Prime Minister Takaichi Sanai and US President Trump discussed China relations in a phone call on Tuesday. It was their first talk since the Japanese premier sparked a major diplomatic bust-up with Beijing over her remarks on Taiwan. Following the call, Prime Minister Takaichi told journalists that President Trump gave a brief explanation of the recent state of US-China relations, declining to go into further details. She said that President Trump told her that they are very close friends and that she could call him anytime. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro on Monday declared his country invincible as the U.S. stepped up pressure by designating the Cartel de los Soles as a foreign terrorist organization and deploying military assets in the Caribbean. Speaking on his TV program, President Maduro told supporters that the U.S. would not defeat Venezuela. He was responding to the latest U.S. actions targeting alleged drug trafficking networks. U.S. President Donald Trump plans to speak directly with Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro though it is still in the planning stage. US President Trump's press secretary said that the US government is satisfied with the strikes on suspected drug boats and that Washington, D.C. will continue the operations.
I'm not going to broadcast any actions that may or may not be happening with respect to Venezuela. I know I've been very clear about the administration's position, as has the president and his national security team. We view the Maduro regime as being illegitimate, and the president has been very satisfied with the successful strikes against narco-terrorists and foreign terrorists that are illegally trafficking drugs towards the United States of America. He's not going to tolerate that, and you can expect to see those strikes continue.
Meanwhile, Venezuela's Aviation Institute told foreign airlines to resume flights within 48 hours or risk losing authorization. The warning from the International Air Transport Association came after several carriers cancelled services following a U.S. Federal Aviation Administration warning of a potentially hazardous situation when flying over Venezuela. Sudan's Rapid Support Forces unilaterally announced a 3-month humanitarian truce. The head of Rapid Support Forces, General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, said late on Monday local time that his paramilitary would immediately enter into a 3-month humanitarian truce in its conflict with Sudan's military. The RSF move came after the UAE lambasted Sudan's Army Chief, General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, for rejecting a U.S. truce proposal and accusing Washington, D.C. of echoing Emirati positions on the conflict. Earlier this month, the U.S., the United Arab Emirates, Egypt and Saudi Arabia proposed a plan for a 3-month truce followed by peace talks. In aviation news from India, Air India and Akash Air cancelled certain flights on Tuesday, citing disruptions in operations because of ash plumes after a volcanic eruption in Ethiopia. Following a directive released by India's aviation regulator, Air India cancelled 11 flights on Monday and Tuesday to check up on aircraft that operated in the vicinity of the volcanic eruption area. Akasa Air suspended West Asia flights as well. Ash plumes from the volcano drifted over Yemen, Oman, India and Pakistan. The India Meteorological Department has said that the Indian skies will be clear by the end of Tuesday. Ethiopia's Haile Gubi volcano erupted on Sunday for the first time in its recorded history, sending thick plumes of smoke up to 14 kilometers into the sky. The Nepal government promoted Defence Secretary Suman Raj Aryal to the country's highest bureaucratic post, making him the 29th Chief Secretary. He succeeds Ek Narayan Aryal, who retired on Tuesday. Suman Raj Aryal has held several key roles, including Chief Secretary of Koshi Province, Controller at the Office of the Auditor General, and Secretary of the Ministries of Women, Children and Senior Citizens, Youth and Sports, and later the Prime Minister's office before joining the Ministry of Defence. Still to come on DD India Newshour. A discussion on India's cultural renaissance.
For the longest time, we treated the Earth's resources as endless. But now the real challenge is to rethink how we use what we already have. Because how we manage the environment's resources will dictate our chances of survival.
He applied finely crushed basalt rock on 2 of his 4 fields and says the difference is clear to see.
It's like a window of opportunity. For every hour we are working with this project.
The pumped groundwater is first filtered. Then it goes into a tank and is filtered again. After that, it is collected in this tank where people can access it.
We have been making handicrafts from banana plants for quite some time now. Currently, we produce around 30 products.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Prime Minister Modi attended the 350th Martyrdom Day of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji at Kurukshetra. He released a commemorative coin and stamp. The Prime Minister praised the Guru's sacrifice for religious freedom and recalled his courage against Mughal tyranny. He said, "New India never bows down to terror." Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday participated in a special program commemorating the 350th Shahidi Divas of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, the revered 9th Sikh Guru in Chandigarh. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji sacrificed his life for the cause of humanity and for the protection of religion. He was a great spiritual guide and a true patriot. He promoted love and unity in society. He encouraged people to fight for truth and justice. The Prime Minister released a special coin and commemorative stamp marking the 350th Shahidi Divas of the revered Guru. Guru Tegh Bahadur was the youngest of 5 sons of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, the 6th Sikh Guru, and Mata Nanaki. At just 13 years old, Tyagmal distinguished himself in the Battle of Kartarpur against Mughal forces, displaying extraordinary bravery and skill with the sword. His fearless valor earned him the name Tegh Bahadur, Mighty of the Sword. In his address, the Prime Minister said that Guru Sahib gave up everything to protect the tilak of faith and to ensure that people's religious beliefs were never suppressed.
धर्म का तिलक सुरक्षित रहे, लोगों की आस्था पर अत्याचार न हो, इसके लिए गुरु साहिब ने सब कुछ न्यौछावर कर दिया। साथियों, आज गुरु साहब की इसी बलिदान भूमि के रूप में आज दिल्ली का शीशगंज गुरुद्वारा हमारी प्रेरणा का एक जीवन स्थल बनकर खड़ा है। आनंदपुर साहब का तीर्थ हमारी राष्ट्रीय चेतना की शक्ति भूमि है।
Guru Tegh Bahadur's life reached its pinnacle in a selfless sacrifice made to uphold the fundamental right to religious freedom. When a group of Kashmiri Hindu Pandits faced forced conversion under the Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, they turned to him for protection. PM Modi underscored the Guru's extraordinary courage in standing up to the Mughal ruler.
उस क्रूर औरंगजेब ने गुरु साहिब को बंदी बनाने का आदेश दिया, लेकिन गुरु साहब ने खुद दिल्ली जाने की घोषणा कर दी। मुगल शासकों ने उन्हें प्रलोभन भी दिए, लेकिन श्री गुरु तेग बहादुर अड़िग रहे। उन्होंने धर्म और सिद्धांतों से समझौता नहीं किया, उनका संकल्प अटल रहा। उन्होंने धर्म का रास्ता नहीं छोड़ा। तब की अवस्था में गुरु साहब ने अपना शीश धर्म की रक्षा को समर्पित कर दिया।
PM Modi said that the entire world has seen that the new India neither fears terrorism nor bows before it, referring to Operation Sindoor.
हम शांति चाहते हैं, लेकिन अपनी सुरक्षा से कोई समझौता नहीं करते। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर इसका सबसे बड़ा उदाहरण है। पूरे विश्व ने देखा है, नया भारत न डरता है, न रुकता है और न आतंकवाद के खिलाफ झुकता है।
Guru Tegh Bahadur is revered for his unparalleled sacrifice and steadfast stand for religious freedom. Devotees honor him as a martyr who bravely opposed persecution and defended every individual's right to follow their own faith. He willingly embraced martyrdom in 1675 in Delhi. His sacrifice is hailed as one of the greatest acts of defending dharma, human dignity, and freedom of conscience. Bureau Report, DD India. And joining us is Colonel Jaybant Singh, retired. Colonel, before we talk about the martyrdom of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, I want to ask you for your views on the possibility of cultural renaissance based on what we saw take place in Ayodhya this morning. Now, Prime Minister Modi said in Ayodhya that the sacred flag that was hoisted at the Ram Temple is not merely a flag, but it's the flag of the renaissance of Indian civilization. What did he mean by that?
I feel that what has happened today has got great significance. Our Prime Minister has gone to the three places which are attached with the Vishnu's Vishnu culture of India, in the sense that it is said that Vishnu Avatar, Shri Ram was a Vishnu Avatar, later on Shri Krishna was a Vishnu Avatar, and then comes the martyrdom ceremony of Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur ji, for which it is said that Guru Nanak Dev ji was a Vishnu Avatar, and from Guru Nanak's Bani came the remainder 10 Gurus. So this has got a tremendous amount of cultural, historical, as well as spiritual significance, which we have to look into. And definitely it is a renaissance of our thought processes, our culture, our ideology, and the way our civilization has evolved over millennia.
Indeed. Colonel, the Prime Minister also said something else. He said, one, and I'm quoting him here, "We are a vibrant society and must work with foresight, keeping in mind the coming decades and centuries." And two, he said, if India is to become developed by the year 2047 and if society is to be empowered, then we must awaken Ram within ourselves, unquote. Now, I found it interesting that he should talk about looking within and looking to the future at once. What did you make of the Prime Minister's remarks?
It is a very, very significant comment that he has made on a very important day in the history of India, which I have explained to you earlier. The possibility of India becoming a world leader has become a reality in the last couple of years. We are getting our rightful place in society as one of the oldest civilizations, which is also hardworking, honest, and very much rooted into the precepts of humanity. So this is one part of the whole thing. The second part is the development aspect, in which we are going very fast, and it is said that the time that the Prime Minister has given of 2047 is too far out. We will possibly reach that target before time. And the difference that it is going to make to the world is this much, that we do not run for power, we do not run for money. Whenever we have within ourselves the possibility of leadership of humanity, we keep humanity first. So this is a good time not only for India, but it is a good time for the rest of the world, because it is our growth is going to mean, is going to translate itself into the growth of humanity.
Absolutely. Now, another remark he made was that, and I'm again quoting him here, he says, in the coming 10 years, the goal must be to free India from the mentality of slavery. Would you like to put it in its proper context for our viewers? What's the significance of this statement of his?
See, now you can join this particular statement which was made by the Prime Minister with what Guru Tegh Bahadur was trying to do during his own times.
Right.
That was also a time when India was enslaved by a very repressive foreign regime. And it is against this repressive foreign regime that Guru Tegh Bahadur ji raised his voice. We often call him Hind ki Chadar, and we often say that Guru Tegh Bahadur ji, he worked for the emancipation of the Kashmiri Pandits. I think we have to broaden this a little more. Guru Tegh Bahadur ji was a Shrishti ki Chadar. He was a person who had come into this world for cosmic liberation of the human resource. And it was not only the Kashmiri Pandits that he was trying to help. He went with the idea of freedom, righteousness, and justice. What I'm trying to convey is that even if the Kashmiri Pandits or anybody else had gone to him and had said that we are being repressed by this regime, even if the Muslims of the day had gone to him and told them that the regime is the authority, the administration, the monarchy is repressing us, he would have done the same thing that he did for the sake of the Kashmiri Pandits. So this fight against slavery is something which started at that particular time. Later on, the Khalsa Panth was created. And the Khalsa Panth, it was so strong that within a period of, say, 1.5 to 200 years, 2 centuries, it demolished 2 empires and created an empire for itself, the Sarkar-e-Khalsa, which was, you will understand, very secular and very modern in its approach. So all these things, this concept of slavery, this vision which started by the gurus about 300 years back is being fructified today to get out of the model of the colonial repression that we have faced.
Indeed. Colonel, let's delve a little more into the life and legacy of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur ji. Now, what lessons can the India of today and possibly tomorrow draw from the martyrdom of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur ji?
There are many, many lessons. There are many lessons. Those lessons are there in his Bani and the lessons are there in his actions. So let us first get into his early life. He was born the 5th son to Guru Har Gobind, who was the Guru at that time, the 6th Guru. And he, on the basis of his Guru and his fathers, you see, his father was also his Guru. So on the basis of the directions of his father, he took to arms and he was so proficient in it that when he fought side by side with his father, he was given this thing of Tegh Bahadur from Tyagmal, the name. So, but he always had a reflective and a meditative sort of approach to life. But he did what his father had told him to do. Second point of faith is that when his father decided to supersede him, so-called, I don't know what other word to use, and make his nephew the Guru, he did not utter a word. He obeyed his father to the core, and he went away to his Nankas in Bakala and got into a meditative mode over there. Second point is his meditative spirit. When he was declared Guru by Guru Har Kishan, there were so many Gurus in Bakala, so many people in Baba Bakala who were trying to, project themselves as Guru. The only person who was not trying to project himself as Guru was Guru Tegh Bahadur. He kept meditating till such time that Makhan Shah Lavana did not go and, recognize him. And he was compelled by his followers to come out and take the mantleship of, mantle of Guruship. Third is when he went on his tour of India, which was almost akin to the manner in which Guru Nanak Dev Ji had gone across, you can say, southwest India. Everywhere that he went, he carried out so many social and welfare activities. He had a free langar, he had free medical camps. There were so many people who did not have money, who were being repressed by the state. He gave them money, he gave them hope. So it was, it was this kind of his principles of, helping humanity at all times. These people that he was giving money and all, he was giving from his own pocket. I mean, he had worked for it. So this was the third point. So I have given people 3 points: that you must listen to your parents, you must listen to your elders, you must have a meditative spirit, you must not run after, what all things we run after in today's world, money, power, status, 5-star hotels. Whatever you have, he was a Guru, he was so big, and yet he was so meditative. And the last point, of course, is what we have been talking about all this while. Regarding his the manner in which, for the sake of justice and righteousness, he stood so firm. So these are the things that we have to learn from him.
Absolutely. On that optimistic note and note of wisdom, may I add, Colonel Jaybant Singh, thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts with our viewers at home and around the world. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated.
It was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. And still to come on DD India Newshour, a special report on the Bhaona, a traditional performing art form from India's northeastern state of Assam.
This week on Defence Dynamics, India's DRDO and France's DGA have signed a pact on technology transfer, what it involves and why it is a game changer. Across the Atlantic, the United States has approved a possible sale of Javelin anti-tank missiles to India, small in size, strategic in impact, and another clearance of 216 Excalibur GPS-guided artillery rounds, boosting India's precision strike capability. Catch the sharpest analysis of power, posture and technology this Wednesday at 8 PM IST only on DD India.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Newshour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. The 5th edition of the Creative Minds of Tomorrow concluded in Goa at the 56th IFFI. The day also witnessed the closing of the Waves Film Bazaar. DD India's Deepika reports from Goa.
From soft cash to scholarships, there was a lot in store for the winners and the participants of Creative Mind of Tomorrow's 5th edition. Not only this, the Waves Film Bazaar also concluded in great style and also was a rewarding experience for all the participating students. Let's take a look at this report that tells you all about both the unique and flagship initiatives of International Film Festival of India. The 5th edition of IFFI's flagship initiative, Creative Minds of Tomorrow, concluded with a showcase of best cinematic experiences, both for the participants and the jury. CMOT featured around 125 young talents in a total of 13 film crafts from across the country, out of which it became really difficult for the jury to choose the best ones because all came out with flying colors. However, with a remarkable script, storyline, production and graphics, it was Team Blue that won the coveted title that included prize money and scholarship.
I think I just had to fully trust my team, and which is what I did, and I felt extremely supported by everyone. So I'm very grateful for CMOT and NFDC for creating this.
There were different award categories, straight from the best actors to the best actress and the best DOP. This time, a special inclusion was the animation category. And it was Team Green that bagged multiple awards, including the best actress, as they ended with the runners-up title.
I couldn't have been luckier with all of these people. They're amazing. They're so good at what they do, and I just hope that I get to collaborate with them in the future. That's my future plan.
The Waves Film Bazaar also awarded different participating categories on its closing day. Students bagged multiple awards and soft cash. With an aim to give wings to their dreams, the Waves Film Bazaar concluded for the 56th edition of IFFI.
It's very surreal. I still can't believe we have received this award. We worked very hard. It's been just 4 years for me. I'm working on this film, and for the past 2 years, me and my producer, we've been working day and night on this film. Finally, it's found its place. We're going to the people, we're going to the audience. And we are genuinely very grateful for NFDC Film Bazaar.
The award-winning soft cash, scholarship and even the certificate of appreciations boosted the dreams of young filmmakers who not only got the much-needed exposure and learning experience to match the global level, but also got hope to dive into the sea of opportunities India has. And there you heard straight from the talent itself how happy they were to receive the awards and also the recognition at Waves Film Bazaar as well as the Creative Minds of Tomorrow. These initiatives, these encouragements will definitely give wings to their dreams for their upcoming future endeavors. With camera person Senthil, this is Deepika reporting for DD India from Goa.
India is a land of diverse cultures and it's true of drama too. Be it the Jatra from West Bengal, the Bhavai from Gujarat or Kathakali from Kerala, all these art forms are intrinsically rooted in the culture and folklore of Indian epics. One such type of dance drama act is the Ankiya. Popularly known as Bhaona in Assam, the tradition started by Srimanta Shankar Deva continues to carry forward his legacy. DD India's Shubina Roy reports.
The audiences are soaked in awe and wonder as Bhaona continues in the local playgrounds of Assam. Traditionally known as Onkyo Naats or dramas written by 15th century saint Srimanta Shankar Dev in Brajavali were called Bhaona. These simple yet powerful dramas include an orchestra of singers and instrumentalists popularly known as Gayons and Bayons. And actors perform in glittering costumes, representing various characters like kings, queens, demons and animals. The performance begins with the actors passing through an archway of lights called Agnigar. 9 lamps are lit over the arc to demonstrate 9 modes of devotion. Before Agnigar, it enlightens the arena and symbolizes Shravan, listening, and Kirtan, recitation. The Sutradhar, one who narrates the play, acts as a chorus explaining the story with the help of orchestra to make it easier for the audience to understand.
एक्चुअली क्या है, हम लोग का यहाँ पे जो भावना है वो हम लोग का गुरुजी का एक शिक्षा बोल सकते हैं। हम लोग का जो गुरुजी है वो हम लोग का समाज में एक संस्कृत और दिशा के लिए, शिक्षा के लिए, ये आप लोग हम धर्म रूप से जैसे आगे बढ़ा उसी हिसाब से हम लोग को भावना सृष्टि हुआ। भावना से आपका अंतरात्मा और हम लोग का जो नवप्रजन्म है उन लोग को नैतिक और धार्मिक ये दोनों दिशों में उन लोग को शिक्षा मिलता है।
Bhavna has been refurbished with new linguistic flavor with the usage of modern Assamese language and story content for creating an impact among people. The age-old tradition of Bhavna continues to influence Assam in every aspect of language, economy and social norms. The beat of tolls and the rhythm of cymbals, along with songs of Sri Hari Nam, and you can see behind me the characters of Sri Krishna and Kamsa being played at the Bhavna Samaroh. This tradition of Assamese culture not just carries forward the legacy of Srimanta Shankar Dev, but also the intangible heritage of Assam. We dedicate Dibrugarh team, Subina Roy, TD India.
And now to news from the world of sport. India is staring at another home series loss. after being given a mammoth target of 549 runs by South Africa to win the second and final test match and draw the series. At the close of fourth day's play, India were at 27 for 2 with Sai Sudarshan at the crease along with night watchman Kuldeep Yadav. The hosts need another 522 runs with a day left to pull off a miracle. Earlier, South Africa declared their innings at 260 for 5 after taking a lead of 548 runs. With the match heavily tilted in South Africa's favour, India now face a monumental job, that is to bat out nearly 3 sessions to salvage a draw or somehow strip one of the greatest chases in Test history. To football now, Everton enjoyed its first Premier League win at Manchester United in 12 years with a 1-0 win on Tuesday. In a surprising turn of events, Everton played with 10 men for over 75 minutes after Idris Gueye was sent off in the 13th minute for striking teammate Michael Keane. Despite the numerical disadvantage, Everton took the lead in the 29th minute through a stunning strike by Kiernan. Everton's win marked their first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League under manager David Moyes, ending a wait of 18 attempts. Both teams now sit level on 18 points in the Premier League standings, with United slipping to 10th and Everton just below at 11th. And that's all for this edition of DD India Newshour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can get the latest news on the DD India mobile app, which is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You may wish to scan the QR code that's now on the screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Newshour.